was really surprised that I was able to get rid of my histamine reaction after I started flaring up with a lot of histamine all of a sudden after I'd gotten COVID twice, and then I got the booster twice, which I found out later that was overkill. One thing I learned is I wasn't getting enough copper, even though I was eating a pretty healthy diet, and I was taking a multivitamin. It wasn't in my multivitamin. Copper needs to be balanced with zinc. So if you're eating a lot of animal muscle meat and not any organs, then you're kind of throwing off a balance. B6 is also really important. Both copper, B6, as well as vitamin C, they all support an enzyme that metabolizes histamine called the DAO enzyme, which you can also support by taking a kidney glandular. But some people just need these nutrients, and a lot of times people are not getting them. Even vitamin C, people often don't get enough. Even with a healthy diet, you don't realize how little a lot of fruits and sometimes some vegetables have. Like, you might think you're getting a lot more than you actually are. So I try to track my intake with Chronometer. Magnesium is also pretty hard to get enough of with your diet, and some people benefit from taking a higher dose therapeutically, like 400 to potentially 800 milligrams. Zinc is especially important to keep in mind if you have like a plant-based diet, because like I said, that's in a lot of like animal foods. And then you have to make sure that your metabolism and your thyroid are functioning properly. And it's actually been shown in studies that people who undereat, in this specific study, it was those with anorexia, had more histamine sensitivity. So when you're not fueling your thyroid or your metabolism with enough calories or energy, then your body is going to be a lot more reactive, which is funny because it can become like a self-perpetuating cycle, of course, which I have experienced. Some people find that when they take exogenous thyroid hormone like T3, if it's a true deficiency in like thyroid hormone, like with Hashimoto's or true hypothyroidism, they have a massive difference in their histamine. And a lot of times the range for an optimal thyroid function is actually a lot more narrow than what's given by your doctors. So generally you want a TSH of 2.5 or less, and the range is like twice that. So, and a lot of times they don't track your T3, and your T3 is actually what makes your cells like get the thyroid hormone. So of course, it's better to address it with lifestyle, like making sure you're getting all of the nutrient cofactors and calories and carbs, because you need enough carbohydrates to make enough T3. So that's what I would do first. The liver also, when it gets congested and has too much to handle, which can happen especially like in the spring, of course, because there's like extra pollen and things like that, and new grasses and things that are blooming, that can become overwhelming. So you can support your liver with something like milk thistle or dandelion or beets, but milk thistle has been really good in my experience. And also, there are actually proteins that can cross-react in foods that a lot of people are allergic to that come from parasites. So pathogens, like I said in my experience with COVID, so a virus can cause more histamine. And then like parasites can create proteins that cross-react with things like peanuts or the widely considered to be allergenic foods. So if that's the case, like, I'm not suggesting you just like indiscriminately deworm yourself with like harsh supplements. It's really best to get biofeedback, and I like to do that with the clients that I see. What made a huge difference specifically for me was copper, and I've seen a huge difference in people just taking vitamin C as well. And again, all of those are really important, and thyroid can have a huge impact. That could be the missing link for a lot of people. But basically, you just need to be more careful when you're picking like a multivitamin, or you want to make sure that you're tracking. Really, you should be tracking in addition to probably needing to supplement with like a wide ranging like multivitamin that covers all of the bases.